What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Sports Prodigies podcast with your hosts. I'm Aiden.
And I'm Jeremy.
And today we are honored to bring on Maryland running back Jake Funk to the podcast. Say what's up, Jake.
What's up? Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, what you been doing during quarantine?
Honestly, just been chilling out, hanging with my family and working out. And then obviously like finishing up the little bit of school that I had left. But yeah, it's pretty much been it. Nothing new.
Yeah, it sounds great. We hope that your family and friends are healthy during this time, as everybody else listening. And we hope that football gets to happen this year, definitely.
For sure.
So let's dive into the questions. The first question I have is, obviously, I'm not a D1 athlete. So could you describe to the fans, what is the environment like at a Maryland football game?
I would say the environment's exciting. I mean, it's always exciting. It's a dream come true to play Division I football. So I mean, the environment is always, what I love. I love the fans. I love everything about it. And I mean, it's great. I mean, there's, words can't really describe it unless you're like in it. You know what I mean? It's hard. But it's great. The fans they're exciting, they're passionate, and they love football. So.
Yeah. Well, what would you say is like the craziest environment that you've been on the road against?
I would say either playing at Texas or playing at Ohio State. The Texas game was just crazy because it was obviously a crazy game the whole entire game.
Big win.
Yeah,
I was watching.
Yeah, so their fans were kind of crazy. They when we scored and went up by 2 scores at the end of the game, it was so hot they had all these like fans, like hand fans given out to them. They were chucking them on the field. Fans were getting pissed off. It was a crazy environment. And then Ohio State, just the stadium itself is one of the coolest stadiums I've ever played in. The Horseshoe is literally a vertical stadium, so you feel like everybody is right on top of you. So those 2 places for sure are my 2 favorite places I played at.
Yeah. What's your biggest goal going into your redshirt senior year?
I would just say to lead this team and get this program going in the right direction. I think we have a good core group of guys who are coming back, who we can build off of from last season. Our coaching staff is doing a great job of bringing in high-level talent. So, I mean, I think a mixture of all of that is going to hopefully get this program where it needs to be in the starting this year and into the next couple of years.
Yeah, we definitely can't wait to see. I know Jeremy's a huge Maryland fan. So am I. I think it's great, and I really can't wait to watch you guys next year. Talking about fans, like I was saying earlier, obviously with the coronavirus, a lot of things are up in the air. It's not looking like pretty much that you're going to have a lot of fans, but you may have some, maybe kids on campus. So how different do you think it will be with no fans, if there were no fans in the stadium this year?
I mean, I think it'd be a lot different, obviously. I mean, the fans bring the experience to the game. So, I mean, honestly, if we didn't have any fans, it would almost feel like a bunch of scrimmages to me that were just televised. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, though, I just want to play football personally. And, just being on the field in these times is a blessing itself, let alone if, we're able to have 50% capacity or 100% capacity. So time will tell. Obviously, everything's thrown up in the air, and I don't think any of us are really going to know until probably when the season starts, if that's going to happen or not.
Do you think like with no fans, there could be more like the communication will be a lot better? Because like I don't know if you guys can like hear each other well on the field, like if you're in a crazy environment.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Obviously, with the lack of noise, communication should be top notch. And I mean the equipment that they use shouldn't have any disruptions from any other people connecting the Wi-Fi and etc. So communication should definitely be better, but at the same time, if you're in a big game and you're coming down to the wire, that noise is also a big factor that plays into the game that could help you or hurt you. So,
yeah, for sure. So why'd you end up picking Maryland going back to high school?
I picked Maryland just because it was close to home. I was in a recruiting class where I knew a lot of guys going to Maryland, played with them, and also just were friends with them off the field. And honestly, just the whole DMV to UMD movement really sold me. There's nothing like playing for your hometown state, being in front of fans that have followed you through high school, have followed you into college. And I mean, it's really, just a dream come true when Maryland offered me. So
Yeah, definitely. And we've spoken with a lot of college athletes, and I feel like a lot of them are really home based. Like they want to stay home. We talked with Don Peterson from Nevada. He said he got an offer from Syracuse, but didn't want to go all the way out to the East Coast. So I definitely understand that staying home, having your family come to the games, that probably means a lot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So my family lives up and down the East Coast. So we have a couple in PA, a couple in North Carolina. But Maryland's pretty much like a center point for all my family to come and see me play and pack the stands with everybody that I know. So like you said, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest thing you need to work on going into this final season?
For me,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be just continuing to be the versatile player that I am, trying to do everything I can, whether that's improving my route running and as a slot, improving running between the tackles as a running back, getting in the open field, making a man miss, just improving my game in all aspects, because ultimately I want to be a guy for us that can be plugged in anywhere. That you can put me in the slot, you can put me in the backfield, you can put me out wide. Like I want to be able to do everything for us. So I think the area that I need to improve on is just overall just like versatility. So.
And at the beginning of your career, like you had Ty Johnson in the running backs room, then you had Anthony McFarland and Javon Leake. So what's it like now to be like you're kind of like the leader of the running backs room?
I mean, it's great. It's great. I've patiently waited for an opportunity like this, and it's hopefully it plays out in my favor this fall. But yeah, I've been blessed to be able to compete with some really, really, really strong running backs, and guys that I have a lot of respect for and are going to have lifelong friendships with. And learning from those guys and just how they played the position. Ultimately, just taking bits and pieces from each and every one of them, and hopefully applying that, this year and help use those things to lead a group of younger guys. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say is your best skill on the field?
I would say my best skill is honestly my football IQ. I think my football IQ. I would consider myself a very smart football player. So I say that I can picture the play before it's happening kind of thing, because I understand defenses. Deal where I just feel like I can picture and see the play happening before it actually happens.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. IQ is really important in the game of football. So that's great that you already have it at the college level.
Yeah. I would also say,
what?
yeah, I was just going to continue on that. I would also just say my versatility, like I said earlier, is also a huge thing that I harp on for myself as well. Is just being able to plug me in anywhere, be able to run a route, be able to play running back, run between the tackles, run outside zone, all that stuff, man. So, yeah.
Yeah. At Maryland, obviously, you've had a couple injuries, and nobody really likes to speak about injuries. But how have those injuries made you stronger as a person on and off the field?
Yeah, those injuries were tough, man. They humbled me as a person, made me really who I am today. And it's been an on and off battle for 2 years now, and it's been tough. And I mean, going through 2 ACLs, it's everything that you would think. The surgery is awful. I mean, it's just putting it that way. But the thing that I've learned about myself on and off the field is just that, if you put your mind to something and you don't quit, and you have faith that everything's going to get better, and you start living the right way on and off the field, things start just going your way. And you hit these little milestones every single time that, something comes up in the process. And it's like, all right, I hit this hurdle. And you just keep hitting these little hurdles that you're just getting over. And ultimately it's, just trusting the process, just trusting it, having faith. It's brought me a little bit closer to God in the last 2 years. So I've become a lot more of a faithful individual. And I mean, just overall, it's been a blessing in disguise for me.
Would you say you're stronger now than you were before?
Yeah. I would say I'm mentally stronger for sure. And then I would honestly tell you that I'm in the best physical shape that I've ever been in my entire life. The last 2 years, I've really just been able to focus on my body, focus on my strength, focus on my weaknesses. And then, just overall, just get my body in a physical shape to perform.
Yeah. So at your time at Maryland, you've gone through multiple head coaches. So has it been like kind of hard to like transition from each like coach's like viewpoints?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a challenge. Anybody who's ever had a coaching change in any sport, they can tell you that, different head coaches obviously have different ways of running their program. And so you kind of have to mold, you kind of have to just really understand the coach first. And then you're able to really understand what they're trying to implement on the team. And then be able to take that and be a captain and be a leader in the program. And then, convey what the coach is trying to preach onto the team. So, yeah, it's been difficult, but I've had the luxury of playing for some great coaches that I do not regret at all playing for. Each one of my head coaches has been phenomenal, and I'm truly blessed to have played for all of them.
Yeah, it's good that if you like your coach, then
yeah, for sure.
So your dad played football at Penn State. Your family really athletic. Has it been like since you go to Maryland, your dad went to Penn State? They're like closest schools together, Big Ten wise. So like, has that kind of created like a family rivalry?
I mean, I wouldn't say a family rivalry, but my whole dad's side are all Penn Staters. Everybody went to Penn State. My grandfather played basketball there. My dad played football there, and my cousins all went there. So whenever we play Maryland, they have their Penn State shirts, but they cut them in half and they sewed them with a Maryland shirt. So whenever we play them, it's like a half Maryland, half Penn State game for my dad's side of the family. But yeah, I mean, it's always a fun time whenever we play them within my family, because there is some trash talking that goes on, but yeah, it's just good times.
Yeah. Are you a Ravens fan, Redskins fan, or a different team?
I would say that I cheer for the hometown teams. I've never really been a huge NFL guy, like fan. I would just say I've always loved watching players more than fans or more than teams. But I always would cheer for the Redskins and Ravens to do well just because they're the hometown.
Yeah, so speaking about NFL players, who would you compare yourself to in the NFL today if you could choose one person?
If I could choose one person, I mean, the guy that I truly try to mold my game to, but I'm nowhere close to him, and because he's the GOAT, is Christian McCaffrey. But I mean, I would say I've watched Christian McCaffrey. I've watched Josh Jacobs. I try to pick out some of the most versatile backs in the league, and just try to watch them and watch their games and pick out bits and pieces of their games that I could add into mine. The way Christian McCaffrey catches the ball out of the backfield, makes a guy miss, gains yards after catch. The way Josh Jacobs is a strong runner inside the tackles, and how he really sets the tone when he's blocking too. Just I wouldn't say I can compare my game to any of those guys, but what I will say is that I definitely have taken bits and pieces of those, watching those guys, and I'm going to try to implement them into my game this year.
What's called? Yeah. I still remember this play. I was watching it. The Panthers were in I think London against Tampa Bay, and he caught one out of the backfield, dropped two guys, and scored a touchdown. I think that was the best play I saw all year.
Yeah, I mean he does that every single time he catches the ball. It's kind of amazing. Like I got to watch every single one of the Panthers games this year just through our film distribution, but he does such a good job at just movement efficiencies, how he sets people up when he's making a cut, because he doesn't really juke stick anybody. Like he's not out there like Darren Sproles, but he makes these very, very small sudden cuts that really get people. And I mean, it's something that I've really appreciated watching, and I'm going to try to implement this year.
Was Josh Jacobs did Coach Loxley tell you to look him up just because he was so familiar with him at Alabama, or did you?
Yeah, yes, he Locks definitely told me that to look up and watch Josh Jacobs. He because he said that when Locks came here initially that I reminded him he was reminded of him by me and my playing style. So it was very, very, interesting to watch him play and just watch and see how he goes about his business.
Yeah. What do you want people to know about Jake Funk that they might not know already?
I would say that what I want people to know is that I'm out there trying to make this team the best team that we can be, and that's something that I would do anything for my team and to hopefully get us to win games.
Sounds great. Thank you for coming on. I think that's wrapping it up for today. You sound like a great leader and definitely somebody that a lot of people should get behind in Maryland this year. We wish you the best of luck this season. We hope you have a great season. Jeremy, you have anything else to say?
Nah, thank you for coming on.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for having me.
Yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for today. If you're on YouTube, go like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, go follow. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, also follow and hit that 5-star. That's it for today. Signing off with your hosts, I'm Aiden.
And I'm Jeremy.
And everybody have a great day. Thank you.